Well, it's been a while since we were able to do a Today in Tarkov almost every day, but here we are, yet again with another tit today. So TLDR here, if you haven't watched the short or anything on that, we've got the flea market back. But how do we get here and what does it mean? Let's get into a little bit of those details. Over the course of about the last 12, 14 hours, basically earlier this morning for me, we got first a message in Morse code. Now this was on the site with the money collected counter and left to collect. Once translated, it basically says the Lightkeeper gives the okay to the flea market after 600. So this boils back to that 600 that was handwritten on top of the United Nations letter that we saw, the UNTAR letter. That we weren't sure what it was, but it looks like it was a goal, 600 billion rubles. And earlier this morning it was hit. The total money collected hit 600 billion rubles, and boom, just like that, we had the flea market back. That event, that process of the flea market coming back came with this letter from Ragman. And it says, I won't open up myself yet because I'm afraid, but I can throw over some things between some vagrants. Now, vagrants, it's kind of the translation of the word Russian. Pretty sure it just means PMC. It kind of means people wandering around. Continuing on, they allowed us to do so as soon as they got some kind of amount of money. So now we're opening up the flea market and we are waiting on another amount of money for general trading. Abermayan. And I might have said that wrong, but that's Ragman's actual last name. So this is just more confirmation that once we hit that 1.5 trillion ruble goal, we'll get all our traders back. Now with this, we've seen prices do things on the flea that you would expect. All items, guns, armor, ammo, even some meds are absurdly priced. Some of them are priced just like they were even if traders were here, which I think is really interesting. But nonetheless, you can get stuff back on the flea again. And it puts an interesting dynamic for me because there is a whole group of players out there for their own reasons. They don't want to give money to the trader or to the cause, if you will. They don't want to give money to the Lightkeeper. And that's fine. People get to do what they want. But this allows folks that do want to do this, they can get stuff in raid, sell it to those players at probably elevated prices, take their money, and then give that to the Lightkeeper if they so desire. And I just thought that was kind of a cool dynamic in the economy that we're going to see happening here over the couple of days. Now, with all of this, I'm more convinced than ever that we actually have kind of multiple paths in front of us here. That the lore, the storyline is going to be driven by the community. This fork in the proverbial road for us is going to depend on whether we get to that 1.5 trillion or not. If we do, the lore goes one direction. If we don't, the lore goes another direction. And I think that deadline is going to be Sunday, May 1st, not just because that is the 5 days that Nikita said in his tweet, which you could put some skepticism in that, based on the fact that we've got the flea back already. It wasn't gone, but also that the tweets weren't there. But supporting that, this UNTAR letter also has May 1st as a supporting date. I think on Sunday, we're going to have one outcome or another. And the one where we don't hit the 1.5 trillion, who knows? If we do it, obviously we're going to get traders back. And maybe there's even a carrot there. Maybe we get some kind of bonus. The traders are thankful because we bailed them out. We paid their extortion. You know, who knows? Some kind of community bonus that we all get because we completed the event. If we don't, I can't even venture a guess, to be honest with you. I mean, I guess I can. We'll do that. You know, maybe we don't get the traders back at all, regardless if it's 5 days or not, if we don't pay it. Maybe they've got shortages on certain gear or items that we can't buy from them. Or perhaps all of the barters associated with military tech loot, because that seems to be what the Lightkeeper cares about, just vanishes. Let your imagination run wild, because I sure have. Now I'm going to continue contributing. I've thrown my 20 million at it already. We'll go make some more money today on stream and contribute that and do our part. If we get into Sunday and we're still not there, I'll start selling just about everything I have to the vendors and whatnot, defense apparently, and try to push it as much as I can. Now with this, I created a poll in my community tab. I'd greatly appreciate if you guys would go vote in it. It's just kind of a misstep that I think BSG had in this event. I'm not even trying to be critical. It's 2020 hindsight, but making the primary way you donate to this goal, pay off the extortion, being the scav case, I feel like cuts about half of the community out because people that don't even have the scav case. There are streamers out there and players who play the entire game and never even touch their hideout. So they could have 30, 40, 50 million rubles and maybe they want to contribute, but they can't because they don't have it. So we'll put the link down in the description or just go to the page and click on the community tab. It'll be right there for you to vote on if you haven't already. I'm also going to reiterate my position that this isn't a wipe or leading up to a wipe. At best, it's a soft wipe. They're taking a bunch of gear and money out of the game and kind of resetting the economy back to early wipe days. At worst, there's a potential this event is actually going to be used to extend the wipe beyond our normal kind of 6-month window, 5 to 7 month we see. Because of this, they might say they could go 7 or 8 months while they work on Lighthouse or some of the other items that they need to do this, the next wipe. It's hard to say. I'm going to stick with my theory for now that wipe is going to be kind of June, July probably. It's going to come with a Lighthouse expansion, and the new trader, and the rogue bosses, and hopefully we'll see, I don't know, other mechanics that might be coming into the game. Some special surprises that none of us are expecting. But in other news, we got some pictures from BSG of guns and gear. I guess not really guns, more just attachments and things like that. The first one is a new foregrip extension for the Scar, which is kind of cool. Then the Baldar Pro O-Light, which is another flashlight laser combo, kind of like the X400 it looks like. A Trihawk 3x30 prism scope. So this will be a new kind of optic. We don't have really much of anything like this in the game right now. So I'm really interested in seeing what this is going to look like. Looks like there's another QDC suppressor with a tan color to it. A new stock for the M4 platform, as well as a picture with the MCX and a folded stock, which just shows us they're adding functionality, because IRL, you can fold that stock, but in the game you can't right now. So it looks like they're adding it. Hopefully you can do it with the buffer tube 2, the buffer tube attachment for the MCX, because that is foldable as well. We'll just have to wait and see. I'll throw links to these to their Twitter post down in the description so you can look at the high-res photos yourself if you want. But I think we'll wrap this up here. Wish you guys the best of luck in your raids, and we'll see you in Tarkov.